Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Emma. I'm going to be talking about craft drama on here. If you are interested in hearing more about that, then hit the subscribe button. I just started this channel. This is my first video, so welcome. Today we're going to be talking about two creators, Kaarin Joy and Taybeepboop. Both of them are primarily interior design creators, but Kaarin also crochets. So I have a little bit of stuff to say about that as well. So keep watching the video if you want to hear that. Before we really get into what happened though, I want to introduce the characters so we all know what's going on. So first up is Kaarin Joy. Her bio on TikTok says DIY/fiber artist/interior decorator. I think I first saw her with the cereal bowl thing, and then I saw she crocheted as well. You might also recognize her from the strawberry triceratops that she made a while ago. There was a little bit of drama in that. Most of that has since been deleted, so I don't want to speak on that too much. The next character is Taybeepboop. Taybeepboop has 1.9 million followers, so same as Kaarin. You might also recognize her from these TikToks. At the time of this controversy, both TikTokers had 1.9 million followers. And both of them have gone like mega viral for their home decor projects. They both have a really like maximalist style. They both decorate their houses with kind of like funky pieces, oversized fruits and cookies and cakes and lots of colors, lots of painting things on the walls or wallpaper or wall decals or just very maximalist color combinations like pinks and oranges and blue and green and lots of things like that. Kaarin went to nursing school and she became a nurse and was a nurse for a couple years, I think maybe 4. Kaarin recently quit her job and now is doing her content creation full time. She's talked about potentially wanting to go back to that at some point, but right now is focusing on her TikTok stuff and has mentioned an interest in getting into interior decorating for other people. Tay went to college for marketing, said that she didn't learn anything from her degree and sort of did odd jobs while she was paying off her student loans. And then she sort of fell into interior decorating.
Doing interior design is I can't believe that I'm here.
And it's like random.
I have no background in it. The same way I had no background in editing.
One of Tay's first videos on TikTok went super viral, like 2.5 million views, and then one of her first few posts got like 40 million views. So she gained a lot of her following right away, and Kaarin's TikTok had a bit of a slower growth curve. They have really similar styles and they have a lot of projects that are really similar to each other's. I saw one TikTok of someone saying, I didn't even know these were two different people until this whole like controversy happened, of like basically I just thought this was the same person because so much of their stuff is similar. But that's enough on both of them for now. Let's move into what actually happened here. So there are 2 videos and one other post that we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to just kind of get through these quickly so we can all be on the same page, get the context, and then we will break them down and look at them further. So the first video I saw was Kaarin's video at 8:07 on Wednesday, today's Wednesday. I saw Kaarin's video at 8:07 p.m. on Tuesday, August 1st. Before I even watched it, I saved the video because I wasn't sure what was going on. Went to Taybeepboop's profile, saved her video, and then watched both of them saved. 10 minutes later, Tay's video was gone. So here's Tay's video. This was posted first.
I'm about to be so petty, and I've never done something like this before, but there is a large creator who is just getting out of hand. So this is my mossy mirror that I made, and immediately she makes this, which is like, fine, that's what the coincidence, whatever. I have this green squiggle art gallery, and now she does too. The difference is she's hanging something else, so that's different, that's creative. But she's also ripping off my boyfriend's art. So that's my boyfriend's art. I have a monster head art gallery. He makes monster heads. They're so realistic and beautiful. This is her version. This is her monster head art gallery. Then I painted my room green and blue. They're very abnormal color choices, and I got a lot of hate for it, but I really love it, and I spent months choosing the colors. Look at what colors she's doing for her kitchen, and she's painting her appliances. So that's just like another weird coincidence. And she hung up this cake wallpaper. That just happens to be my actual wallpaper line that I have. Look at this photo. Orange couch, wallpaper, monster head art gallery. That orange couch is literally the knockoff of my orange couch, and that's my wallpaper, which is fine. Anyone can buy it. I also created a gradient room where my whole room is gradients, and then she decided to make an ombre room. Strange coincidence. I have tried to talk to her about this, and I was like, please stop copying me, and she said, I don't want to
And then here's Kaarin's response video.
So I'm getting like a lot of DMs and comments and stuff, and I haven't seen this video because she posted it and then blocked me, so I don't really know what's being said about me, but I know I'm getting like a lot of really mean and hateful like comments and messages now. And I'm like I'm not gonna come on here and like cry and be like, feel sorry for me. But I guess I'm just like really disappointed because I really genuinely like this creator. And she was like one of the first people I followed on here that I was really like, wow, like this decor style is so cool. It is so colorful and so fun. And just really encouraged me to like actually express myself. And we have talked over message and stuff, and like she was so nice. And about 2 months ago she did ask me not to do any of her DIYs, which like I totally understood, and I was like, that's totally fine, like I really do get it. And it was just like a really pleasant interaction. Like I said, she was so nice, and I didn't know like we had issues or that she was feeling like this. But I will say, like, we have very similar styles. Like, I love her, I'm so inspired by her, and I think it's so crazy to say that no one else can decorate like in color or have similar colors to you, and it automatically being me like maliciously copying her. I just wish she had come to me privately. Like, I'm so frustrated. Like, I don't even know what's being said about me. I have lots of squiggles in my home. That was inspired from her. I absolutely loved it. And I think to be like a content creator on here, some of that comes with, if you're branding yourself as a DIY channel, do this yourself, here's how I did it, here's the links for the supplies. And then to say no one can be inspired off of you is just wrong. And then to like publicly shame someone for being inspired by you without them even knowing you have any issues is just so wrong. I won't say like I'm not in the wrong anywhere, because I'm sure that I am, but I think it's very clear that my intent is not just to copy and rip this creator off. And there are going to be people that continue to grow on this app with that same style, with my same style too, because our whole platform is encouraging other people to do the same thing. I don't know. I'm just really disappointed and frustrated with this whole situation, and now I have just like hateful comments everywhere. So
Tay even acknowledges right at the start of her video that this is not something she usually posts. She acknowledges that this is petty, but then continues to post the video and do it anyway. And she got a lot of backlash in the comments. Some people stitched it and duetted it, so it is still on TikTok. You can find it. And then on Kaarin's video, all of the comments were positive. All of them were saying that Tay was out of line for calling her out like this, and that this should have been handled privately, especially because they already had an open line of communication. So like I said, about 10 minutes after I saw Tay's video, it was deleted, and she uploaded a story post on her TikTok that said, I posted a vid today that I should have continued to handle privately. This isn't what I want my page to be about, so I've removed it. I'm passionate about giving credit to designers and creators, and I wish that could have been the case here when it was first addressed. 2 red hearts. The comments on this were similarly very unfavorable towards Tay. At the time of filming this, the post has 5,000 likes and 19,000 comments, so like really not great ratio. And a lot of the comments are saying Kaarin deserves an apology. People are saying that they didn't know who Tay was until Kaarin posted about this and made the video. Someone said, the switch up, I'm dead. Where's the ukulele? All of the comments were pretty negative on her like apology post. I wouldn't even say it's an apology, but on all of her other videos, all of the past like 10 videos, people are going through and they're commenting just like the most ridiculous things. So she'll have like a video on wallpaper and the comments are like, wait, does this mean no one else can use renter-friendly wallpaper? I guess I can't do this DIY. I have a cat, maybe I'm copying her. She posted something about a hotel and someone said, "Am I allowed to experience this?" And then someone else said, "I stayed in a hotel the first time in 1977. Give me credit." This goes back on her last 9 videos. The video that it stops on is a video about her parents tricking her into having to pay for college. That's a pretty funny way to react to something like this. People could be meaner, and out of all the options, this is kind of a funny way for people to express their frustration with the situation. And within a few hours, there were just like all these TikToks that people made giving their own take on it. Here's a video by Crutches and Spice that I think breaks down a lot of the issues that people have with how Tay is handling all of this.
First things first. I posted a video today that I should have continued to handle privately. There was really nothing to handle. None of the designs that you have are proprietary, other than the wallpaper that she tagged you in. And it's sold and distributed by a company you don't own. If anything needed to be handled, it would have made more sense for Taybeepboop to reach out to Kaarin and collaborate with her. That, in my mind, makes the most amount of sense. This isn't what I wanted my page to be about, so I removed it. Judging by the comment sections of your latest videos, this is gonna drag on for a while. Especially when nothing that has been posted is an actual apology. But here's my major sticking point that's gonna haunt Taybeepboop. I am passionate about giving credit to designers and creators, and I wish that could have been the case here when it was first addressed. Here's the thing, none of Taybeepboop's designs are original. Not only that, given that they're not original and can be found on Pinterest and multiple sites across the web, she calls everything in her home her own design or her own idea. Will she retroactively go back, find the creators whose ideas are all over Pinterest, all over the internet, and tag them in their ideas? Because if we're going to hold Kaarin, apologies, I pronounced her name wrong the first time. If you're going to hold Kaarin to that standard, then shouldn't you also meet it and exceed it? And I think it is that last sentence that's going to haunt her, because if she wants credit for her own ideas, they have to be her own original ideas.
There is this TikToker, Descent into Madness, who is going through the receipts and the timeline of when the projects happen.
Here's the thing, I went through the receipts and I agree that I think that maybe there is some copying going on. I'm just not sure she's the one copying you. So the first thing you do is you say, look at my moss mirror. Look at it. She copied me. A few things. One, the mirror was never supposed to look like this. Okay, this wasn't the original vision. But even still, look at when you upcycled your mirror on April 17th. But here's her on April 4th, 13 days before your mirror. Must have been dinosaur head.
So in addition to the fact that Kaarin did not originally intend for the mirror to be a moss mirror, also on April 4th, which was 13 days before Tay posted about her moss mirror, was using moss to make this dinosaur head plaque. And so she already had the moss in her house. She didn't buy it specifically for the moss mirror after seeing Tay's project. A couple more things I want to add about the moss mirror, because I guess this is a developing story and I've been reading things in the comments in the past couple minutes. The suggestion for Tay's moss mirror came from a commenter, and Tay responded and said, "I've literally never heard of this before," and then made the moss mirror. And Kaarin didn't even come up with the moss mirror initially. She was trying to make this wavy mirror with a cement plaster thing, and then it kept cracking, and then she put moss on top of the plaster later on in the process, I think also from a commenter suggestion. So neither of them were the ones that came up with the idea for the moss mirror.
Next, you're like, look at my gradient room. You showcased your wallpaper.
And apparently with the blue-green copying accusation as well, Tay first showed the wallpaper on June 18th, and Kaarin had posted that she was starting to paint her kitchen this same shade of green on June 17th. So there's kind of no way that they could have been copying each other. And apparently for the kitchen, Kaarin had planned a different color scheme. She had planned a green and this light purple, but everyone in the comments was saying it looked too much like Buzz Lightyear. And then so she changed the purple to yellow gold, and then everyone was saying it looked like corn. And then she finally changed it to the blue. So that's that project.
Ombre the sunset around her room, and I own gradient. No one else can do that. She copied me.
With Tay's accusation that Kaarin copied her ombre style in her door trim, apparently Kaarin had already made a project with this ombre, same color scheme and the ombre, in the bathroom of her old apartment, and was just recreating it in her new house in a different way because she missed the project. And the monster head, dinosaur head thing as well, in my opinion, is just, it's completely unwarranted. The monster heads are really cool. The dinosaur heads are cool, and they don't look anything like each other. The only similarity is that they're mounted on something. And I think this really gets into the question of like, what is the point of the DIY space online? Are you making these videos so that people can make the projects in their home? Presumably you are, but then all of a sudden you're placing parameters on like what people can and can't make. And I think the situation is made trickier because they both are big creators, and it's really easy to get territorial about that kind of stuff. And like a lot of people on TikTok are pointing out, a lot of these ideas are not original, and that I could make a whole video series about copying and plagiarism and art. These did not exist or get created in a vacuum, right? She's taking inspiration from things that have been done and she's putting her own twist on it, and that is how we get art, and that is how we get innovation, and that is how we move forward in the world and make progress. My friend Emma, Midsummer Knits, just sent me this TikTok of someone who knows Taylor personally. Their username is Adelina's Cozy Life.
Taylor's upset with you because she thinks you saw her ideas, took them, and got popular on TikTok because of them.
Adelina starts off by saying that Taylor's first TikTok that went viral, which was the first TikTok she posted, was actually inspired by a TikTok that she saw.
Remember her first video that got her TikTok famous? She got the idea from a TikTok video.
And then she goes on to say that Taylor gets a lot of ideas from her friends, from her boyfriend, and from her TikTok comments.
Which is normally totally fine and cool because that's part of the design process. So don't let her make you feel bad for extrapolating on other people's ideas, especially because she doesn't even give anyone credit.
And Taylor said in her little apology that she is very passionate about giving credit to designers and creators, and this TikTok just shows us that that's not something that she usually does. And now that she is getting called out about this, and now that she's talking about someone copying her, now all of a sudden she's passionate about it. But in the past, she has not been giving that same energy to credit creators.
I made a foam mirror. She made a foam mirror. And none of this is even touching on the fact that she is telling everyone that she grew up in poverty.
And this is something that I noticed while I was going through a lot of Taylor's content, was that she would talk about living in poverty and how she pulled herself up by her bootstraps basically, and has like given a lot of money to her parents and worked really hard to pay off her student loan debt. But this TikTok is saying that, you know, she didn't grow up in poverty in the way that she is painting it out to be. Apparently her family owns a beach house. She went to a private school, and both of her parents were judges. And that's not to say that they couldn't have had financial troubles and still have had all of those things. Not everyone manages their money in, you know, the way that you think they're going to. Not everybody who has nice things actually has the money to back that up. But I do think it's telling that she uses something like this to gain her sympathy points on social media. And the caption for this TikTok says, "This isn't very cozy life of me, but I had to speak up. I've never met anyone in my life that talks more shit than Taybeepboop, and I'm tired of her making everyone feel small. I'm not going to get into why we aren't friends anymore because that is unnecessary, but don't let her do it to you. Please keep doing what you're doing and fuck it. Keep doing her DIYs too. Isn't that supposedly why she's posting them? So that people can do them? Also, newsflash, dinosaur heads are not monster heads, and I've seen people do framed animal heads hundreds of times for children's rooms, so she did not invent that." Art is derived from other art. And if we start putting pillars up and saying, you can't take this thing and make it your own, you can't do this and expand upon it and add your own touch and insight to it, then what's going to happen with art? I feel like we saw this starting to happen with music from like literally the Baroque era, when Bach and his pals were making music, writing music for church services. They would all take quotes of each other's music all the time. And it was kind of the same thing as like sampling music. There's really great pieces that are variations on a theme from this person. So in that case, it's like, okay, the person is credited, where like Brahms's piece, variations on a theme from Handel, the name is in there, right? He's crediting Handel for the theme, and then he just interpolates on top of it, and he makes it into this crazy thing that sounds nothing like what was at the beginning. Same thing has been happening with like music sampling in the more like modern era, and we've seen a lot of lawsuits in the past of people being accused of copying other people or stealing their work. And this is so tricky, and again, way too much to go into for this video. There's tons of creators out there that are talking about this like more specifically, that are more qualified to talk about the music industry and like music law than I am. But I just think it's really interesting, and it's great to see that some of these lawsuits they're not winning. The people that are saying that their music is being stolen, they're not winning, because that would be bad for music, I think. So yeah, all art is derived from something. And I think this gets more complicated as we put money into it. So basically all of that whole huge rant to say is that Tay's designs are not all original, and it's very easy to feel precious about the things that you make and the things you design, and especially color combinations that you put together or how you style a certain room or something. But at the end of the day, art is there for inspiration. Art is meant to inspire, and she was inspired by something, you know, like we are all inspired by something. Tay did an interview where she was talking about how a lot of people get inspiration from Pinterest. And again, Pinterest, that could be a whole video on itself. There's so much bad stuff about Pinterest, and it encourages a lot of like stealing designs, like actually stealing designs. But in an interview, Tay says that she does not get inspiration from Pinterest, but instead gets inspiration from real life. And to that I say, who do you think designs the things in real life? Who do you think designs the things on Pinterest? Behind every photo we see, behind every mural we see on the street, behind every billboard or logo or anything is someone who made it. People are making all of these things. So yes, you can say that you get inspiration from TV or movies or real life or friends and family or whatever, but it doesn't make you better than someone who gets inspiration from the internet. You're both not crediting the person who made it. So like I said, most of the comments on TikTok that I have seen are on Kaarin's side. They are saying, she is so sweet, she could never do anything wrong. She literally always credits everyone for her work. I don't understand where you're coming from. Kaarin's so creative, you're just jealous that she is better than you. And this is where we get into the crochet crafting side of things. I do think Kaarin has historically a little bit of a problem with crediting creators and crediting ideas. I filmed a couple examples talking about this yesterday, but I wanted to add a few other thoughts to this now because I feel like I didn't explain it very well, and again, I don't want it to seem like I'm attacking Kaarin in this video, but I do think it's important to add to the conversation that there have been a couple instances where Kaarin didn't credit as much as she could have, and with a platform as big as she has, I think it's very important to credit the inspiration that you get. And that is true for Tay and Kaarin. I think both of them should credit where they get inspiration, especially if it is from someone who is selling something. Like if they're using a material, if they are inspired by another designer, I don't think it would hurt them to be talking about who their inspiration is from. I think that we all can hold ourselves and these creators to a higher standard in terms of crediting where the inspiration is from. And this is a larger problem that I see a lot in the crochet community, where people start off and they don't realize how important it is to credit people's work and their patterns. And so we can trace sort of as the inspiration grows. It's not good practice to say that you were inspired by Pinterest. Pinterest is not a designer. Pinterest is not an artist or a person. And in the same way, I think both of these creators have shown that they oftentimes don't correctly credit where their source is from. Both creators, there are instances where either there's no mention of inspiration given, or the inspiration is credited to Instagram or TikTok, or a lot of people were tagging me in a video on TikTok. And it's like, that's great. You can say the person's name, especially if people are tagging you in the video and you know the name of the person who created it. I don't want to get into this too much because Tay is calling her out in a crazy way, but just for future situations, I think that it would benefit her to be more upfront about where a lot of her inspiration does come from, especially with crocheting stuff. As I was looking into her videos, there are several instances where she does not say where she got the inspiration from. She doesn't say where a piece or a pattern is from. And I think in the long run, that could end up coming back to like bite her in the ass, where someone could accuse her of copying and be actually completely justified because she did not cite her sources. Another example, this one is not crochet related, but this is Taybeepboop related. Taybeepboop posted a video of her putting this squiggle decal on her shower. So she posts the video talking about the bathroom, puts the squiggle on. This was on June 27th. On July 14th, Kaarin posts a video where she's putting squiggle decals on her shower. They're slightly different shapes, but she does put them on her shower. She does a little tutorial at the end where she's like, here's how I did it. It's a very similar format to Tay's video as well. And she even says at the beginning of the video, I saw another creator on here do this.
So I'm doing something in my bathroom right now to my shower. I'm adding these like little blobs all over it. I added blobs like this in my craft room on the wall and loved it. And I saw another creator on here do like a squiggle on her shower with the same like vinyl.
I know I'm being nitpicky here, but at that point she could have just said, I saw Taybeepboop do this on here. It takes just about the same amount of time. You can't argue there wasn't enough time for her to say. She clearly got the idea from someone, but for some reason didn't feel the need to verbally say it out loud. I think with a lot of other of these DIY projects, you can make an argument either way, that one of them was inspired by the other one, or that they were inspired by someone else, or that they were inspired by this decade of decor, or by Nickelodeon, or by whatever. But this situation, it's very clearly like she could have given her credit and she chose not to. And there was really no reason for her not to. She wasn't losing anything by directing people to Tay in this situation and saying where she got the idea from. So I just think that's interesting. One of my other friends, she made one of his patterns, and when she did post about it and credited him in a few TikToks, his pattern sales went crazy high for about a week. And so this is why I think it's important for creators to credit where they got their work, because then people are able to go find and support the creator and the designer that made the pattern. And I tend to be kind of hypervigilant about this because I am a pattern designer, and if someone makes my pattern, I want to see the video, and also I would love if people like their video to come and follow my pattern. But that's just where I'm coming from there. So I am biased in this. And I think this can be a good reminder to all of us to just be a little bit more diligent about where we are crediting people and how we credit them. Another update, Kaarin hit 2 million followers on TikTok, and the last time I checked, Tay is still at 1.9. Today, Kaarin posted a TikTok story that says, I have felt so loved and supported by each and every one of you this week. I created this page wanting people to find joy in whatever made their eyes light up without being worried about what other people thought about it. It makes me tear up to see the community we have now, and I'm so grateful. I'm so honored to have you guys be a part of that. I just wanted to ask that we move on and have peace on both sides. While I don't agree with how this was handled, I don't believe anyone deserves hate on the internet. Tay and I have not spoken, but the internet can be so brutal. The feeling to be on the other side of that is so hard. Love you guys. The funny thing about this, though, is that it's the same format as Tay's post, Tay's apology. And I don't know if that was on purpose, and I don't know if that was like intended to be a funny like jab, but I almost wish she had just gone with the pink background, because I think that would have been funny. Another interesting thing to note about this situation and what has transpired in the past 2 days since this went down, both of them are still posting as normal, which is interesting. Sometimes when these things happen, creators stop posting. I kind of would have expected Tay to stop posting, but she did have a brand deal that she posted today and has been posting other content. On Tay's most recent post, which was posted 6 hours ago, most of the comments are, yay, Kaarin got 2 million followers. Congrats, Kaarin. She got 2 million followers. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think about this whole thing in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, send this to your friends. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next time.